Hey guys, it's your boy Jehuty here with another Tekken 7 video. Today I want to add a new chapter to the Tekken 101 series, and that is how to learn how to effectively throw break, and of course the philosophy of throw games, so how to implement throws into your game plan effectively. In between that, I'll also be showing throws with special animations or special properties for you to look out in certain matchups, and you can look into the description to find the timestamps you want to skip to if you have that desire. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So, if you're new to Tekken 7, you may or may not know that generic throws have been simplified. What do I mean by this? So the throws that are 1+3 and the other throw, which is 2+4, can either be broken with 1 or with 2. You don't have to be specific about it. Now there's still incentive to learn how to do it like in prior Tekken games, and that is because certain characters like Nina, which you're seeing here, have command throws, which are special throws that look like generic throws, but they actually have to be specifically broken with 1 or specifically broken with 2. So what you're seeing here is that you see Nina's left arm come forward first and it's higher than the right arm, and that's her generic throw, right? And then her command throw follows up, and it has exactly the same animation, but the throw which takes place is different. So when you see the left arm come forward first, and it's higher than the right arm, and the right arm is somewhat back, these throws have to be broken with 1, and specifically with 1. And on the flip side, you have the generic 2+4 throw, which you can break with either, of course, but then the command grab version of that, the command throw version of that, now has to be specifically broken with 2. And what you see here is that the right arm comes forward first and is higher, and the left arm is somewhat a bit lower and a bit placed back. And then lastly, you have the command throws which need to be broken with 1+2, and what you see here is that both arms stretch out at the same height and at the same distance simultaneously, and in this case you have to press 1+2 as already mentioned. So now let's get into actually practicing throw breaks. What you want to do is you want to go into practice mode and select a character to practice against who has a complete throw game. What do I mean by that? I mean a character who has command throws that look like generic throws. In my case, you're seeing Hwoarang here. You can also select other characters such as Jin, Julia, the Williams sisters. Other characters can also do this. And what I'm doing here is I'm using the repeat action option and selecting these 3 throws which you're seeing here in the command list, but I'm going to start with only 1 throw. So what you want to do is you want to start the throw which you're not comfortable breaking. So if your natural reaction is always to press 1 when you're breaking, then start with the throw that needs to be broken with 2. Why is this important? That is because you want to unlearn some of the bad habits you have. And that bad habit, of course, is immediately pressing a button when you're grabbed. The next thing you want to do, and which is maybe even more important, is to try to break the throw at the last possible frame. Now, when the throw actually connects, you have 20 frames to break that throw. What does that mean? That means you have 1/3 of a second to free yourself from the throw. Why is this important? And that's because you don't want to immediately press a button, but actually visually confirm which arm comes forward first before you break the throw. So once again, you're trying to break habits. Once you're comfortable with that, what you do is you also put the throw which needs a 1+2 break into the rotation. And then you have 2 throws at the same time which you'll have to deal with. You keep at this and you keep doing this till you're a bit comfortable, and after that you switch sides. What I mean by that is if your character is always on the left side, then make sure you're on the right side of the screen. And now learn how to throw break from that side, because the animations somewhat feel a bit different now, and you have to get used to that as well. Once you're comfortable with that, what you want to do is that you want to disable the throw which needs a 2 break, and then you have the command throw which needs 1+2, and you activate the throw which needs a 1 break. And then you do the same thing. You practice breaking these two until you feel comfortable with them, and then you switch sides once again on the screen. Make sure you break those and feel comfortable when the animations are slightly different because of the side switch. And once you're comfortable with that, what you do is that you now take the throw which needs a 1 break and the throw which needs a 2 break, and you do those as well. Remember, what's important here is that you wait for the last possible moment to break that throw. So you're not immediately pressing a button, you visually confirm. And then once you're comfortable, as mentioned, you switch sides and do the same thing. Then when you're feeling cheeky, then you can activate all 3 of them and go through the process once again. Now, as I mentioned before, throw breaks don't come overnight, so if it's not proving successful for you, then you need to start from the beginning again. You know, just 1 throw, and then you go through the whole process again. Remember, throw breaks don't come overnight. Don't be discouraged if you're not having results immediately. It takes time. Be patient and just keep at it whilst you're doing other stuff. Anyway, that's more or less it. Now I just want to talk about throws with special animations and special properties, and I'll just show them all to you so you know what to look out for in certain matchups. First up, we have King and Armor King with their giant swings. And the thing about this is that the animation can be somewhat deceptive, but it's actually a 1 break. Then of course Armor King and King again with Shining Wizard, which is this running up and grabbing with a knee to the face grab, and it needs a 1+2 break. Now then we move on to Devil Jin, and Devil Jin has a throw out of fly, and the thing with this throw is that it's not breakable, however it is duckable, also side steppable or side walkable. Kazumi also has one out of her Fearless Warrior stance, and it's not breakable and it's not duckable. However, you can backdash it because it's quite slow or sidestep it. Next up is Alyssa. Alyssa has this nice little animation where she puts out her head as a gift, and it needs a 1+2 break. And then Law also has one which looks like this, where he puts his left leg forward and it needs a 1 break. Jack has an unbreakable throw, however it has to be very close to properly connect and register as a throw, so don't worry too much about it, you barely see it. Dragunov has an unbreakable throw, which you're just seeing. It has to be ducked, so watch out for that. Next up is Negan. Negan also has an unbreakable throw, but it comes out of Intimidation stance, so when you see him in an Intimidation stance, expect that he throws out this throw, and it is unbreakable, however it is duckable. And then Eddie also has an unbreakable throw, and it comes out of Helicopter stance, and the rules are the same with Negan. It's not breakable, however it is duckable. That's the way to go. Nina also has an unbreakable throw, which you barely see, and it comes out of her back sway. And the thing with this is that it's the beginning of a chain throw, and the follow-ups can be broken with 1. However, the first one barely does any damage, so don't worry about it too much. And lastly, we have Akuma and Geese Howard here, and Akuma has one which comes out of his Demon Flip. It doesn't have a lot of range. It can be combined with his mix-ups. It is duckable, and it is also steppable, so keep that in mind. And then, of course, Geese. Geese Rage Art is actually a throw, and it is high, so you can see it by the animation which he plays when he activates it, and then you just duck that. So now let's get into the philosophy of throw game, how to properly implement throws into your game plan. Let me just come out and say this: if you're not utilizing throws in your game plan, you're not having an optimal game plan. These are in the game for a reason, and you really should use them, even if you don't like using them. And on the flip side of that, if you like spamming throws, you become predictable, especially at higher and intermediate level of play. So you should ease off a bit from the throws. Now, the primary reason why you'd want to use throws, of course, is because of the damage. However, there are other reasons why you may want to do that. One reason could be that you want a breather, so you want to use that so that you can quickly gather your thoughts a bit. You can use that to also change the flow of a match. You can also use it as a surprise ender in a round if you're being very sparse with your throws. But then lastly, and I think that's the most important reason, is that you may want to utilize it as a repositioning tool. Let me explain. Now most people don't know this, but these three specific kind of throws which you have, they leave you in different positions if they're broken. So now let me explain. For instance, if you have throws which need to be broken with 1, or the generic 1+3, when they are broken, they leave you and your opponent in exactly the same position you guys started before the throw happened. Now on the other hand, if you have a throw which needs to be broken with 2, or the generic 2+4 throw, if that throw is broken, you guys actually flip positions, you guys switch positions. And then lastly, you have the throws which can be broken with 1+2, and when they come out and they're broken, what happens is that you and your opponent rotate counterclockwise by 90 degrees. Now that's all good and all, but you may wonder, why would I even want to do this? Now let me explain. So now you can use it to realign yourself, of course, when you know that you're being pushed to the wall or you want to push your opponent to the wall, but it actually is even more important when you are at the wall yourself. So when you have a situation where your back is at the wall, for instance, you can use a 2 break throw, because if it connects, you get your damage and you get an OK situation and you can pressure your opponent and get away from the wall. And if he breaks it, you guys actually switch positions. So what happens is now that his back is to the wall and now he has to defend. And then you can also mix that up with the 1+2 break throws so that you're not too predictable, so that if he breaks those, you guys now switch and move counterclockwise by 90 degrees. So now he's a bit closer to the wall and you're now a bit further away from the wall. And then a higher level of play, which even becomes more interesting, is that people expect these throws at the wall. So now what you could actually do is you could use a throw which needs a 1 break, because he's expecting either a 1+2 throw or a 2 break throw. And then you get the throw, and then after that you have the OK situation and can push him away from the wall. The throw game can also be utilized in a situation where the roles are reversed, so where you're the aggressor and your opponent has his back to the wall, and as maybe you'd want to throw out a 1 break throw, because you know that even if he breaks that throw, you guys are still in the position you guys left off and he still has his back to the wall. And then maybe if you want to mix it up with a 1+2 break throw where it's not too risky, as a 2 break throw, you could also utilize that. Anyways, this is more or less the information I wanted to share. I hope this was somewhat helpful, and remember, throw breaks don't come overnight, you have to keep at it. I wish you all the best trying to learn these stuff, and expect more content from me. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, leave a like and a comment because those things really help me out. And anyway, this is your boy Jehuty, and I'm out.